Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Sunless Sea with me, BrainBoy 20, where we last left off. We'd finished off our business in London. Salt wreaked of vengeance, and I would like to get my vengeance on Salt, but I really don't know how to get vengeance against a god, now do I? So our current objectives right now are as follows. Go to Polythreme for the Admiralty. We're going to continue bothering the wistful deviless later. Vanderbite. Okay, where is... There's someplace we had to go. Favors, asked to pick something up. From where? I don't remember. There's memoirs, but memoirs are useless now because Salt... And I'm not salty about that at all, I was working towards it. And then it said, screw me. I'm still looking, I can't find anything. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're just going to Polythreme for both. Alright, to the shop. Although I think I did this last time, it seems to have reset my provisions. And so I kind of need to build my provisions back up really quickly. And I think I was also going to purchase a large amount of mushroom wine to bring to the monks once more, as that was a very profitable venture. And without further ado, let's shove off, shall we? At the first stop of our journey, I'm thinking we're going to be stopping at the Salt Lions, which no. Maybe? I mean, we have to go all the way to Polythreme anyway. We're going to be going to stop by Mount Palmerston. When we come back, we'll be at the Salt Lions first, so that'll be our first stop. So see you all in a bit. As I'm going to cut out these journeys unless something occurs on them. Or the music starts playing. Maybe. Anyway, so long. And welcome back everyone! We have to avoid a Gillifleur while we try to coast our way into port at the Salt Lions. Mercifully, that thing's going in the opposite direction, so I don't see much of a problem with this. But I'm coming back, going into port. Let's see what we can find. Maybe we can find some way to make amends with Salt here. Although I don't approve of what he had done earlier. Visit the Unmakers. We have to carry Sphinx Stone to London. I'll have to remember this on the way back. But I will grab a port report, as is usual, and then we'll at least visit the Unmakers. We lose 5 terror, gain a fragment, and some terror reduction was much needed, as we lost a good source of it with our wife. Yes, for those who haven't watched the previous episode, Salt wreaked a bloody vengeance by killing off our wife and child while they were out to sea. Don't know why they were out to sea, it's a very dangerous place out here. But I'm not one to judge. Anyway, we'll be moving back onwards to Station 3, but since the journey there is relatively short, I might as well keep talking anyway. Also, you might notice that we actually have a cursor this time around. I realized I had turned that off for the longest time in my videos. I didn't remember how to turn it on, and then while trying to find a way to fix the frame rate in Sunless Sea, which there wasn't any problems in the video post-rendering, it's just pre-rendering it looked horrible. I ended up stumbling upon how to fix the lack of a mouse cursor, so it'll be back here again. Anyway, we're back at Station 3. I'm a moron. I forgot to wait. Alright, I'll be out here? Not at the... Why do I keep going to the dock? Anyway, we'll sit here, wait, we'll shoot the Auroral Megalops. Grab some free supplies. Well, yeah, we'll feed ourselves. And we're going to wait until something that waits us at port happens again. So, kill the lights, and just get near Station 3. And we'll wait. When we come back, we'll be in port again. And we are back. We're going to be either observing the latest autopsies errands for the Acolyte, Our questions, although since last time we only got one piece of the whole puzzle, let's ask how the metal balls are formed. Surely they aren't products of disease. They're too mechanical for that. Growth. Soothing copper heart seas tonic, she says. Take it when you're sad. Take it when there's something you don't dare speak about. Take it with wine, or with laudanum. Or take it straight from the bottle. It goes down warm, but it turns cold in the body. It forms around the thing you don't want to say, and holds it in. From there, her explanation becomes more iatrotheological in nature. There's something about the reaction of souls with the compounds of silence and grief, and something about the circulation of the blood. She appears to believe these points explain why the metal sets hard, and why it takes different shapes in different bodies, and why some users find it necessary to keep drinking tonic all their lives until the balls have fully grown as large as organs. That's all for now. Trading in Longbox's quality is now 4 and gained some fragments. Medical details from the acolyte. There's a great deal in what she says that you don't think you've heard any doctor mention before. Since it's a straightforward challenge, we'll probably make copious notes, and then we could attempt to draw our own conclusion to someone with sufficient medical knowledge. This is all quite enlightening. We'll make copious notes. Quick handwriting. Fortunately, you are quick hand with a pen. It might not make much sense to you, but to the right buyer in the right port, it's bound to be worth something. And we gained another secret. We shall return later, back to the docks, and we will shove off once more. Next destination will probably be, well, yeah, it'll be Abbey Rock. But because nothing happens there, I'm just going to skip over that port, and next time we meet each other, we'll be in Palmerston. See you all, unless something happens, of course. So see you all then. As we are now approaching Palmerston, and one of my favorite soundtracks in the game is playing, I decided to bring us all back in now. So hopefully the Wistful Deviless is something new for us. If not, well, that's not my problem. Well, yeah, it is my problem. I kind of want to continue with this story. I don't even know where it might theoretically end. Perhaps I get access to a new location that I know absolutely nothing about otherwise. Who knows? But anyway, let's arrive at Port Palmerston. This is going to be a nightmare to edit, considering I really should keep my audio and video tracks separate instead of just recording it all in fraps. While it's good, I might need to be able to do some editing with the audio occasionally. It'd be much better to just record it in Audacity. Oh well, visiting the Wistful Deviless. She pours the tea with a shaking hand. Her eyes are distant. The lights, the agonies, the scalding mists of lead. I miss them so. I long to return from exile. I was such a fool. There's no future with the convention. Will you help me? I overhear things. Here at the gate, the convention's plans. Take them back to London for me. The officialdom of hell will show gratitude to me, and I will show gratitude to you. You'll excuse me, I have been called away again so rudely. Excuse me. And we have returned. Unfortunately, this is going to be an incredibly choppy episode. Trying something new is always annoying. Anyway, we shall definitely take this back to London. She hands you an envelope. Unsealed, she points out. I choose to trust you. She's certainly lying. Devils do not trust. You have one message from the Wistful Deviless. That's all for now. Yada yada yada. And then Mount Palmerston, of course, will take a port report back, because Mount Palmerston always is valuable. Anyway, shoving off to Polythreme, because of the closeness of Polythreme and Godfall, we'll just drop by both of those easily. Hopefully, by the time we head back to London, we won't have nearly as much filled up cargo space. How much cargo space are we taking up right now? I think we'll have enough free space by the time we get there, considering we'll be dropping off Well, actually we'll be gaining net 1 cargo by reaching both Polythreme and Godfall. In addition, we'll net another cargo point because we're going to be grabbing the requested container from the for the Cheery Man. I don't know. Maybe we won't bother with the Salt Lions, or the Salt Lions rocks. Hello, Jeffrey. Good to see you again. I mean, we run by that face so often, we might as well name it. Alright, of course, port aboard Polythreme. A contact colony. Your contact waits at the Whistling Eye, a masked bundle of grimy satin. The light here is poor, but it seems to have more gloves than it should. A muttered plea. Please, wheezes a voice from within the mounds of clothing. Take it. I need to pay my debt. It seems that the clothes, mostly gloves you see, are more wearing than being worn. The pale, sweating fellow within it is a prisoner of his wardrobe. Take the report, though your fingers may shrink from the touch of living cloth that binds him. Return to London. Perhaps you'll pay him what debt he owes. Tailor Terra gained a Terra, completed the commission. And we shall collect the Cheery Man's cargo. A great temple has been wounded. It will be many years in the dying. It groans and shivers, but the Claymen avoid the place out of fear and respect. But you meet one of their number in the shattered chamber where the altar once stood. What souls are these? The Clayman swallows the coins in handfuls, for safety, not out of appetite, you assume, and hands you a crate of whispering souls. Human. The souls back home are all but silent. Perhaps these are the souls of chairs, hats, swords. That's Polythreme for you. And of course we'll ferry some Claymen for London. And our hold is nearly full, but we'll shove off for Godfall. Once again, these are all so close together that I don't see much reason for bothering with cutting these trips out. I only cut out the more boring trips. Of course, we'll pay a service of wine and of shouting. Although I don't know how to acquire hunting trophies. Perhaps I should go hunt a lifeberg. Although that doesn't seem like the most brilliant idea. We'll see if there are any islands nearby, because we might do a little bit of exploring because we've got some free supplies. Yeah, we'll head south. Maybe there's something down there. I know there's Khan's Shadow, but we'll see what else we can find. Nuncio is a long way east. We might as well go and visit it. I mean, it takes about 6 supplies to get back, so at 7 I should turn around. So we'll be at 9. We'll definitely make it to Nuncio, at least. Scuttering and chittering in the corners of the hold, hump shapes in the deck rail, ratsy air and Broadland's vermin. We've discovered Nuncio. I have never actually seen this place before, so this is entirely new to me as it is to you. Most likely it's new to you. I don't know if you played the game before or not and know what this place is. Khan's Shadow is a long way southwest. We'll be visiting there in a moment. But first things first. Nuncio. Do not return. Sender. Taciturn functionaries walk the docks in uniforms of postmen. An enormous crowned statue casts a chilling shadow. The shadows gleam with rats' eyes. Their ceaseless chittering rolls like the tide. Go to the Postman's Tavern. The Inky Blot, it's called. The sign doesn't look like much. Explore the beach. There's a long stretch of shale, dotted with washed-up kegs and barrels and smaller flotsam. Or we can attempt to assemble a port report. You may not be very familiar with the locals yet, but you can provide a preliminary overview. Sure, why not? There's the statue in the middle of the island. That's hard to miss. There's the way everyone wears a uniform, and the way they call each other by their rank in the Postal Service. There's the way the port authorities refer to regulations. There's the jargon, the curious habit of referring to any used-up thing as cancelled, as though the whole world were made of stamps. You write about vestigial bureaucracy, about the trappings of order retained far from home. I guess we'll explore along the beach. Shifty going. The rocks slip and slither underfoot, but you keep your balance. Every lap of the wave drags up some new letter or parcel. The face of the water is dotted with them, as far as you can see in this blackness, carried by a powerful current. Argue with the man holding a broom. He's determined, he keeps shoving letters into the sea keeps shoving them back. That's just the man holding a broom. Both of you together still won't achieve anything, but maybe he'd feel better. Rescue a ticking parcel. It says refused by recipient. What could possibly go wrong? Have your Ratus Faber take a look at the ticking parcel. Safer it than you. Now back to the docks. I think we'll assist the man holding the broom. I don't know what goes on here, but he might need some help. Surprisingly soothing. In the long term, what you're doing won't make the slightest bit of difference. Every sodden bit of paper you fling out to sea will come back in a few hours. But for now, you managed to clear a little patch of shore, a few feet on each side. The stones are bare, as they should be. Your companion turns his head towards the sound of your work and gives you a little nod. Lost a little terror? You have won a newcomer to Nuncio, cultivating friendships with postmen. And learning postal secrets is now one, aware of flotsam and jetsam. Perhaps not. I would continue here. We'll continue exploring along the beach. I'm going to not bother the ticking parcel because I get the feeling that one of those might explode, but I'm going to study the odd currents. The water that brings flotsam ashore does not follow the usual patterns. Squinting and guesswork. It's no use. Few hours of exploration, of squinting out to sea, and flinging shining floats into the water produces no better understanding than before. I guess we'll try again. On all sides. You make a complete circuit of the island. The whole shoreline is alike. All of it is covered in debris, all of it washing steadily inland from every direction. Not the work of some directional current. It's more as if the whole Unterzee were draining into Nuncio. Except, of course, the force did not affect your ship. When you came this way, it does not stop ships leaving. Evidently, it only works on post. Back to the docks. Let's go to the Postman's Tavern. Warmer inside than it looks. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised to have a new arrival on the island. The Inky Blot. Lit by two roaring fires, one at either end of the room, the bartender is in postman's uniform, like almost all of the patrons. A noseless postal inspector called Blunt Thomas delivers the drinks, clears tables, stacks the firewood. Listen in on the postal tall tales. Fishermen brag about fish that got away. Postmen brag about hard deliveries. Ask why the local currency consists of rats. 2 strings of rats for a pint of ale, 3 strings for wine, 5 for the tolerable brandy under the bar. Ask why the hairless postwoman is hairless. I guess have some interesting explosive package, maybe. With the big statue at the center of the island. If there were a guidebook for visitors, it would have had to be the first entry. Ask how they all occupy themselves all day. Must be more than this. Ask whether letters wash ashore here. Maybe one of them will know. We might as well listen in on some tall tales first. Amazing what you get for a penny stamp. Delicate bottles lowered down chimneys on a rope. Do not fold under any circumstance. Letters curled through a narrow slot. Rattling, groaning crates brought back to the same addresses every day for 22 days running. The windows they pried open, the servants they bribed, the delivery surcharges they paid out of their own salaries just to get rid of one more packet. It's hard to tell which they hate more, the senders of the mail or the recipients. Stands to reason, if the message was a welcome one, they'd tell the other fellow in person. Reflects the hairless postwoman. Let's ask why the local currency consists of rats. Scarcity is not an issue. The hairless postwoman at the end of the bar smiles mirthlessly. Or maybe it's just a lack of eyebrows that does it. Long enough carrying the things around, you get into the habit, she says. Then she tells you that if you stay out late enough, you'll see some of the postmen making a procession to the center of the island, stringing up rats around the statue like Yuletide decorations, and pray to an ancient deity of this place. From the coughing and choking elsewhere in the pub, you'd guess this is the story they often tell the newcomers. Well, it's not really polite to ask why there's a problem with a person, but we might as well ask why she's hairless. Faux pass. No, she says, curt. Not pleased, you asked. Still had eyebrows when I came to Nuncio. Postman at the next bench diverts you, speaks in a low voice. Lots of people find habits when they can't deliver the post anymore. This one has a plucking habit. Best learn not to notice. You glance up. The hairless postwoman is still glaring at you. Ask about the big statue at the center of the island. If there were a guidebook for visitors, it would have to be the first entry. Oh, that? It's all of us, isn't it? Sort of the spirit of the island. Most of them don't seem troubled for more of an explanation than that, though the hairless postwoman tells you it didn't always look like a fallen London postman at all. That it used to have a different face and a more old-fashioned outfit. Let's ask them how they occupy themselves all day. Dead letter office. Big building, center of town, hard to miss. You can work there too if you want. It's not clear whether this is a generous offer or a threat. Ask where letters wash ashore here. Maybe one of them will know. The pole. It's the pole, they tell you. Dead letters are like so many iron filings, drawn to Nuncio. See for yourself, suggests the hairless postwoman. Go down to shore, collect a bunch of what's washed there, and you'll feel it soon enough. Saves time for the rest of us, says another voice. Apparently beach scavenging is a civic duty hereabouts, like working in the dead letter office. Gain 10 fragments, and I'm familiar with the pole. Let's ask why they came here, then. I don't get the impression that they're making a holiday of it. All unhappy postmen are alike. The stories have different beginnings. Boredom, frustration, villain who is overwhelmed by guilt after a missed delivery, but they always end the same way. Undeliverable letters and parcels accumulating over months and years, having to ignore the undeliverable to shove it into a desk or carry it to the bottom of a bag, and increasing preoccupation with these items. Finally, a decision to meet the compulsion to go to Nuncio and be rid of the last remnants. The postmen do not bring the dead letters to Nuncio. Letters bring the postman. Let's explore the beach really quick. Collect material, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to leave now. There's some harborside provisioners if I want, but I'm not going to purchase anything. I'm going to leave now, because I get the sneaking suspicion that this is one of the ways to kill your character, or might be. I might return and continue it at a later date, but there's probably a chance that if I become a part of the postman, I won't be able to leave. Well, some very, very bad things might happen. I don't know, I just have a small feeling in my gut, so I'm just going to get out of here. And when we return... actually no, let's traverse the distance to Khan's Shadow. And I think we'll make the end of the episode there. I don't actually remember what time I started. I might have to check the recording to see how much time I actually have gone through. Yes. When we get to Khan's Shadow... Or actually, I'll just check that right now. Be back in a second. Alright. Yeah, I've got a little bit more time. I'd like to make 30-minute videos because I don't think I'll ever get anywhere unless I do. Like, I've occasionally been given advice that it's probably a good idea to just make shorter videos because people's attention span isn't that great. To think better of people, or more accurately, I like to think that these games have so much of a time investment that if I shortened it by any amount of time, you wouldn't be able to finish the game in any reasonable time frame. But anyway, our last stop will be at Khan's Shadow. Khan's Shadow, the city that swam. Long ago, the Khanate turned its back on its warrior traditions. It has no place for pirates and would-be nomads, so here, in the shadow, the exiles make their home, amid 100 wrecks, grounded, decommissioned ships. Acquire a doomed monster hunter. Rebel lords of the Khanate are hungry for the secrets of the Dawn Machine. One among their number will volunteer to die for you, should you provide for them what they need. Now we can compile a port report. So many malcontents, so little time. Conniving, debauching, speechifying, drinking, singing, speeching, poeting. Now and then a drunken duel. Very occasionally, a savage ritual murder. Alright, what is here that we can purchase? Devil bone dice, a cask of mushroom wine, or we could sell it here for a small profit. Star shells can be sold by Stygian iron, crates of human souls, figurehead of the Eater of Names. Traveler's friend, a mirror catch box full of very angry dream snakes. We could buy outlandish artifacts. This is where you get the empty mirror catch box? Well then, shove off, shall we? Give me one of those. Mild breaker. This frankly sinister device reduces the amount of fuel that an engine uses. It also really frightens the crew. Apparently, that's necessary. Well, that's irritating. If I had a high enough heart stat, I might bother with the mild breaker, but I can't afford it anyway. Regardless. Actually, do these take up spaces in the hold? Yes. Yes, they do. Alright. Regardless, I think I'm going to end the episode here, at Khan's Shadow. I hope you've all enjoyed watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.